It is extremely important to me that the stories we share are authentic and that we strive to tell both perspectives. I've been a local to this remarkable island 3 times and a tourist too many times to count. Our Home Your Holiday celebrates Aruba. There's a reason why Arubans are so patriotic, and there's a reason why visitors keep coming back. Let's dive into the elements that makes Aruba our home and the perfect holiday. Oranjestad is celebrating 200 years of existence this year. Hi everyone, I'm Yentulu. As you can see, we are strolling in downtown Oranjestad. Here's a question for our locals. As the capital city of Aruba marks 2 centuries, what do we really know about it? And a question for our tourists is, how much of an effort do you really make to get to know this city better when you're visiting? Well, I can tell you this, after speaking with someone and exploring this area with someone who is deeply connected to Oranjestad, I can tell you it is definitely worthwhile to spend more time here and to get to know it better.
It is a city full with history, monuments, tangible and also intangible heritage.
Clifford Rosa here was born and raised in the area of Oranjestad, which is sometimes referred to as Rancho by locals. Present day, he is the chairman of the Rancho Foundation, which is an NGO that educates and preserves the capital city of Aruba. Oranjestad is charming and full of history, plus 2 major monuments can be found here.
Come into Rancho, you will get 2 different industrial monuments that are protected. One of them is the lime kiln. That is one of the very most important monuments that we have in this area. So here you can see the limestones, and when they build the houses with clay and like the first plaster coming over is lime. So that's why it is very important, the whole process, but for the lime kiln it's very important because the lime kiln produces this first material that they had been using with a color, you know, so that's why it is very important to know the history and how the technical part of building houses from mud house to stone house, and nowadays you have the cement, and also the first water tank with the intention to water distribution to the Oranjestad. Water tank, need also attention, but it is a protected industrial monument also. You might see the emblem on the other side, but to be able to build a water tank and with the intention to start distribution water to Oranjestad. So this was built also in 1905. So it is very young, but the whole intention of water distribution on the island starts with this idea.
Besides for the protected monuments, there's so many other reasons to pay a visit to Oranjestad. New street names have been established, followed by improvements in those alleys. Additionally, the diversity of Oranjestad is also part of its vibrant character and cultural richness.
The names of the streets and the development that came on with that. You know, so you have the Catholic Church, you have the Protestant Church, and all that is like in combination. So we are like a multicultural area, Rancho Ora, because it is like that. It is multicultural. So every type of people living into this area.
Clifford is knowledgeable and passionate about his home city of Oranjestad. For the next 200 years, he wishes the area to be cleaner and for the abandoned buildings to be full of life and creativity. Most importantly, he is eager, very eager, for the people of Aruba to learn more about their capital city.
The community of Aruba have to care because they don't know their own history. And we are working for more than 10 years to educate our own people about their own heritage. So I know that this is one of the things that they didn't even thought about, that the city might have that amount of years.
It's not only the locals that should invest some time in Oranjestad, it's also our visitors.
If you see the cruise ship, you might see how close we are from the cruise ship terminal.
And why is that important?
Because they are in walking distance from the heritage. the main heritage of the island of Aruba.
So cruise ship visitors should definitely spend some time here.
And walk through this area, Rancho Ora and all this area, to look into monuments buildings, but also our protected monument of industrial monument that we have in this area. That is the aim, educating our own people and educating our visitors who is coming in, able to know our heritage, and that is very important.
Aruba is known for its friendly and hospitable people. Hi everyone, I'm Yantulu. We are here at Fort Zelman. Travelers nowadays are looking for far more than just sun, sand, and sea. They are looking for ways to connect to the destination, and one of the ways to do that is to learning more about its culture. Earlier on, I mentioned about our friendly people. Well, did you know that you could find some explanation as to why we are so hospitable inside a museum?
If you're a big lover of Aruba and all things Aruban, the museums are kind of a must.
That goes for both locals and tourists. Fort Zelman is a historical museum that houses centuries of Aruba's history and culture.
I think it's extremely important for the locals to visit our museums just to get an in-depth knowledge of what our history has been, what has transpired throughout our history. Being it our industrial history, which many people have forgotten about, or just basic historical facts in the origins and development of Oranjestad. I mean, this fort is about 235 years old. That's quite a long time. There's quite a lot of history that has transpired on these islands, and we don't know a lot of it. A lot of it is not taught in schools. So for locals as well as visitors, I think it's extremely important.
It is definitely worthwhile for our local community of Aruba to spend some time in the museums. Perhaps it's a good idea to plan a revisit since upgrades have been made to many of the exhibits. When it comes to the visitors of our island, museum stops are a must for the itinerary.
I mean, if you visit a place, it's very important to have kind of the history of place, the spirit of place, to get a bit of more in-depth idea of what has transpired, what's been the cultural history of these places you visit or spend time. A lot of visitors in Aruba are repeat guests. You know, the first couple of visits you're on the beach, but after that you want to know a little bit more of, what the island represents, what's the history of the people, what's the multicultural history of this island. How come it's so harmonious, how come we're so hospitable. You find that in our history.
Surveys and studies have shown that travelers nowadays want more from the destination that they are visiting. They want to be connected to the place, not just on surface level, but searching for a deeper experience that includes embracing the culture and history of the destination.
For me, I would say it's important because you need to know not just the tourist side of the island, but also the history, so you understand why the people are so open to receive you.
Alex just said it. Aruba is known for its friendly people. Well, you can find evidence of the welcoming nature dating back centuries.
Of course, there's enslavement. Of course, there were you can say many atrocities happened in the region. But I think Aruba, because of the small scale and because of the necessity to coexist harmoniously and prosper, it has always been part and parcel of who the Arubans are. Very open, very amicable, very much able to relate to anyone that comes to the island, being new migrants, new developers, new industries throughout our history.
What stands out in the Aruban cultural history is the harmoniousness and the coexistence of all the different nations that inhabited these islands, which ultimately contributes to current day.
And even racial divides. A lot of local people, if you go back in our history, the Arubans are completely mixed. It's European blood, Amerindian blood, African blood, you name it, everything that's come here. Those racial barriers that you will see in the Caribbean because of the slave trade were here kind of non-existent because of the small scale of the island. People had to coexist, people had to work together, people had to thrive together. So it's always been this kind of a harmonious society.
One thing is for sure, you will always leave a museum in Aruba learning more about this one happy island.
Actually, my father's from Aruba, so I was excited to learn something about his history as well and of my family here. I actually learned a lot of new things. I didn't really was up to speed with the history of weaving hats and that stuff, so it was really interesting for me.
When you go to the museum, you will see, you will get the history of the island and you will understand more what's out there.
Museums play a crucial role in every community, and Aruba is no exception. Yes, there's Fort Zelman, but there's also the Museum of Industry and Community Museum, plus the Euphoria Carnival Museum, which are all located in St. Nicholas. It is imperative to ensure stable funding and support for these community landmarks in order for them to thrive effectively.
For Fundación Museo Urbano, it's always been very important to have a strategic partnership with Aruba Tourism Authority. From the moment we reorganized the foundation to be an umbrella organization to carry more museums than one, it became stronger and stronger, the collaboration with ATA, and recently post-COVID, where we were forced to close for a period of about 1.5 years, it has been extremely important to have structural support for the next 3 years to reopen the museums and to reset our whole programming, upgrade our exhibitions, redo some of the buildings, upgrade the buildings, so we can have a more sustainable existence and guarantee our museums to remain open for future generations.
It's been about a week since Carnival Monday. Are you suffering from carnival withdrawals? Well, let's get you back into it for just a few minutes.
This is what the average Aruban lives for, Carnival.
Ah, yes. Carnival is certainly special. It's a big moment for the carnivalistas, but let's not forget about the people on the side watching. Yes, Carnival wouldn't be Carnival without the people in costumes jumping in the parades. But Carnival would also not be Carnival without its spectators. And Aruba's audience is unlike any other. They are energetic, passionate, and enthusiastic about their island nation's street party.
Yeah, well, Carnival here on the island is just very energetic. It's, you know, people live for this moment. We all come out, we have fun. You have the carnivalista who are always in the parade. They spend X amount of dollars, you know, because that's their thing, you know. I'm not exactly a carnivalista because I'm more or less a sideliner, you know, on the side. But then we all make up the carnival vibes, you know, because without the onlookers, what would Carnival be like?
Jeff is absolutely right. The energy of Carnival comes from the people in costumes, but also the people in ordinary clothes. Both groups share something very important in common, and that is their love and adoration for the big cultural celebration.
The favorite part is almost everything from Juve come down to Parada de Luz, lighting parade, everything.
What I love about it is, what I love about the Carnival is the costumes, the design, how they're so detailed, you know, elaborate costumes, they're just beautiful.
And my favorite part is the costumes, the group, the energies.
My energy is just to see what the magic, every group has a magic, a perfection.
All in all, Aruba's Carnival is special to so many people. It is a core memory year after year.
Part of our culture, you cannot wait for the carnival to start, but not to end. You want it to go on.
Hey, it's a picnic, that's what it is all about. People are walking up and down, but as a matter of fact, I'm going to take my walk just now. We're having our drinks, we're making merry, we're eating, you know, we're barbecuing. So it's a picnic. We're meeting friends who we haven't seen in a long time, even friends from the USA or from Holland. So it's a special moment indeed.
Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the show. And if you did, make sure to check out our YouTube page. You can help me out and click subscribe. Signing off right here in the city that is celebrating 200 years, I'm Yenta Liu. We'll see you next time.